Thanks to Corwin Motors for sponsoring the Keeping Score podcast. At Corwin Motors, they're proud to be family-driven for over 100 years. Their commitment goes beyond selling cars. They're dedicated to serving our community and providing you with the highest quality vehicles to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're searching for reliability, style, or comfort, they got you covered. They understand that you rely on their website for accurate and up-to-date information, and it's their promise to deliver relevant, detailed content that meets your needs. So if you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or just want to learn more, visit CorwinMotorsKalispell.com. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Keeping Score podcast presented by Corwin Motors. This week we have just basketball to talk about and more basketball to talk about as swimming and wrestling both ended last week. So without further ado, let's get into this week's highlights you might have missed. We're going to kick things off right away with my game of the week between the Flathead Braves and Helena Capital. It ended in a heartbreak for the Flathead fans as Capital's Dylan Amquist beat the buzzer with the layup high off the glass to give Helena Capital a 57-55 victory over Flathead on Saturday night. The Braves used a 7-0 run to tie the game up at 55 with 48 seconds remaining. Corbin Eaton missed a chance to put the Braves ahead with 10 seconds on the clock, and a tie-up on the rebound gave possession back to the Bruins. Amquist went coast-to-coast in 6.6 seconds to send Capital home with the weekend sweep in Kalispell. In Friday's matchup, Helena High used the big third quarter to propel them to an 81-51 win over the Braves. Helena outscored the Braves 30-9 in that third quarter. Brody Zahn led Flathead with 16 points, and Lurk Ersland came off the bench to score 11. For the Bravettes, Helena High's Maddie Todorovic scored 16 points, all of them in the first half on Friday as the Lady Bengals beat Flathead 51-38. Maddie Thompson, Grace Gall, and Caitlin Converse all scored 8 points apiece for Flathead. Saturday's matchup was another great game between Capital and Flathead, with the game being decided by just 1 point. Flathead built leads of 24-16 and 36-31 in the first half and led 44-37 after Grace Gall's three-pointer at 2:11 left in the third quarter. But then the Bravettes went cold and they did not get another field goal until Sammy Gallagher scored at the buzzer. Glacier Wolfpack boys and girls team had busy weeks, with each of them playing 3 different opponents. Tuesday night in Glacier's boys basketball loss to Sentinel, the Spartans made 17 of 19 free throws to pick up a road win over at the Wolf's Den, 48-41. Sentinel's two-headed tandem of Lincoln Rogers and Carson Toe combined to go 15 of 15 from the free throw line, while the Wolfpack only went 5 of 10. Liam Ells led the Wolfpack in scoring that night with 15 points. Friday night was another close game where Glacier came up just short in a 56-52 loss to Capital. Glacier had the game tied at 46 all on Asher Konopik's three-pointer with 3:32 left in the game, then again when Carter Konopik scored. But some costly turnovers and made free throws by Capital put the game out of reach towards the end. Cooper Pelk and Slate Burlington each had 10 points for the Wolfpack, and Asher Konopik finished with 9. Saturday's game with Helena, the Bengals took a 36-19 halftime lead and won the game 57-41. Liam Ells scored 12 points for the Wolfpack. He hit both of his three-pointers and scored 8 points in the fourth quarter to try to stage a rally. Asher Konopik and Luke Nikkinen added 11 points each for Glacier. Moving on to the Wolfpack girls, they lost another heartbreaker to Sentinel on Tuesday, 58-54. Down 27-23 at the break, the Wolfpack took their first lead of the game 4 minutes into the third quarter, and the game to be shifting in the home team's favor. Carly Allen led the pack with 15 points, all of them coming from beyond the arc, in a game where Coach Cram said she was feeling flu-like symptoms, so shout out to Carly for pushing through. I was at this game, and every time the Pack made a run, it seemed like Sentinel would answer right back, and the game wasn't decided until the very end. It was a great effort by both teams, with Glacier coming up just short after they battled back. On Friday, the girls bounced back with the win over the Bruins, 46-43 behind Reese Ramey's 16 points. In the game with a ton of lead changes, with 106 left, Ramey used a pick and drained a three to put the Pack ahead for good, 43-41. She would hit 3 of her next 4 free throws in the final 23 seconds to seal the win for the Pack. Saturday, the middle quarters weren't kind to the Glacier girls basketball team, and neither was the free throw line. They lost to Helena 70-53 in a game where Reese Ramey had a game-high 19, but Glacier missed 15 free throws. Carly Allen and Allie Kruger both added 12 points for the Pack. Bigfork boys had their first game of the week on Thursday in a matchup with Ronan where they lost a close battle to the Chiefs 51-45 in a game that went into double overtime. Austin Savick did all he could for the Vikings as he scored 35 of the team's 45 points, including 4 3-pointers. That was the only matchup of the week for the Vikings, and there was nothing on the schedule for the Valkyries, so if we happen to miss a game, please do let us know as we're trying to show love to everybody. Moving on to Whitefish, the boys lost their Tuesday matchup with Browning 53-46. Whitefish were outscored 34-14 in the second half after Browning took their first lead of the game with just under 5 minutes remaining. CJ Thew led the Bulldogs with 14 points and Carson Golick added 11. Thursday, Cooper Dudley scored 23 points, Carson Golick added 15, and Whitefish cruised to a Northwest A victory 51-26 over Libby. Saturday, Whitefish's Will Sisson led the Bulldogs with 32 points, including 5 3-pointers. Cooper Dudley added 22, but it wasn't enough as Frenchtown put up a whopping 94 points and won 94-71. Tuesday, the girls were not able to get it done against Browning either, losing 69-59. Charlize Ulrich scored a team-high 15 points for the Bulldogs, and Reese Hudson added 12. Allie Shores scored 14 of her 17 points in the second half as Whitefish pulled away from Libby for a 46-36 victory on Thursday night. Stella Frisbee and Charlize Ulrich added 8 points apiece for the Bulldogs, who outscored Libby 28-18 in the second half. Columbia Falls boys had one game this week that was held on Friday against Browning as well. Jude Rivas scored 21 points for Browning, who ruled the glass and the free throw line to beat Columbia Falls 69-58, in a showdown of two of the top teams in the Northwest. Cooper Ross tried to stage a rally for the Wildcats with a team high of 24 points. The girls, however, did pick up a win against Browning with Kira Campanen hitting 5 3-pointers and scoring 15 points for the Wildcats. Annika Lawrence scored 6 of her 13 points in the third quarter, and Taryn Borgen added 11 for the win. That is all the basketball I have for you this week as the season is slowly beginning to wind down, but the Western A play-in games are this weekend on March 1st, so be sure to go out there and check those out. Thank you to our sponsor, Corwin Motors, and to everyone else joining the Keeping Score podcast. We'll see you all next week on another episode as playoffs ramp up. I've been your host, Josh Amick. Thank you for joining us.
A fire that broke out on a cold and dark February morning in 2024 sent the small northwest Montana town of Noxon reeling. Beginning in the Angry Beaver General Store on Noxon Avenue, the conflagration would eventually claim a neighboring restaurant and a storied bar. The town had lost 3/4 of its business community by the day's end. 7 months after the fire, people were still wondering, will Noxon recover? Can it mount a comeback? What will rise from the ashes?
Stream Season 3 of the Daily Interlakes Deep Dive podcast on your favorite audio platform, or catch the 2-part series on our YouTube channel.